you very much for inviting me for this. And I will share the presentation with Yves Perret, that you know quite well, as he's a member of the governing board, and he is in this panel because he is sharing the digitalization platform of Unité, and you know that a few months ago we have produced a position paper that is available. So if we go quickly to the three first slides, I just wanted to say it's always a pleasure to be in Italy, because we have so many Italian members in Unité, and so then we know that they've been very involved as well in the Shift2Rail process. And then I would like to thank as well Carlo. You can go quickly on this one on the index. Let's go to the one on what the Unité does.
Sorry, we need to find it.
This one is about the membership, so we also work on this one. Okay. First of all, I would like to thank you for what has been said concerning but I would like to say a few political things, even if we are an association, a lot of technical studies. But you know that this week there's been the presentation by the new chair-elect of the Commission on the program. She has appointed the new commissioners, so the names in the press. What is interesting in this program that there will be a Green Deal, and that Vice President Timmermans will have to present in the next 100 days a complicated program for the Green Deal. The Green Deal will be the main program of the next 5 years. What is also important,
Philippe, can you speak a little bit louder?
No, okay, so no, I wanted to say that you saw that the President of the Commission, Mrs. Ursula von der Leyen, has presented a program, and in the program there is a Green Deal, and in the Green Deal this will be the main level for the next 5 years. And of course, we have to take advantage of this Green Deal, because we always say that we are at the heart of mobility, that we are the greenest and safest mode of transport. Where there is a bit of the disappointment is that in the mission letter, which has been said by the chair of the Commission to the new commissioner-elect, which is Plumb, the word rail does not appear anywhere, which is not a good thing, but of course, they mentioned the TEN-Ts, but it's always a pity that when the word rail does not appear, you have aviation, automotive, you have a lot of other words used. But it shows that we have to continue the lobbying. We also saw in the program that the words disruptive are also used, and the word about cybersecurity seems to be at the heart of the program, which will be launched by the Commission. So it's important to see that we will have to continue to make a big lobbying in the future. And even if I'm always happy when Carlo Borghini mentioned Shift2Rail 2, what we have to know is that the negotiations for having those partnerships and of having Shift2Rail 2 will be certainly difficult, even if we hear positive message for the different governments. And we know that the Italian government, I'm sure that the new Minister for Innovation will support the Shift2Rail 2. That's an issue. But of course, the preparation of Shift2Rail 2 is absolutely essential, and we listen carefully to the different messages passed by Carlo about the fact that these programs must change the system, architecture, that we have to be disruptive, and we have to do what is necessary to change the rail system in the next year. On this slide, you see what are the main topics where we are working, which are very important, because it is true that you know that the fourth railway package started this year. The implementation started on the 16th of June. We were happy to see that amongst the 8 countries who have decided to transpose, you have Italy, but still there are 19 countries who are going to transpose only in 2020, which is not a very good sign, but still, because this implementation of the fourth railway package and the role of ERA in the next future will be essential for creating a real single European railway area. You see that for us, the European standardization process is absolutely essential. You see in the slide, and a lot of things have been said, and we'll be able to come back. On research and innovation, what is important in the list, and we've been working with our members, is what we call the 9 key enablers. But there's been a lot of work done with the Shift Rail GU, plus with ERAC, and there will be a slide later on ERAC. And then we come to digitalization, and digitalization, it has already been said by all of the previous keynote speakers, it's at the heart of the priority, and will be certainly at the heart of the next Shift Rail. So now I pass the stage to Yves. It's not very easy because he's on this side, but I see the slide from where he's
So Yves Perreal from Thales. I am the chairman of the digital platform in UNIFE, and as well I work a lot in Shift Rail, and I'm the chairman of the IP. Looking at the mass ecosystem, I will come back to that later on. So a few words about this digital platform. It has been created in 2015, and the objective is to group the different people of UNIFE to meet more or less every quarter and to discuss between us what are the most important topics to transform the sector in terms of digitalization. So we discuss a lot, we meet different people, I will come back to that later as well, and we decided to write a document. So the first one has been created in 2016, and it has been updated this year, in April 2019. So we published the vision on digitalization, which is named Digital Trends in the Rail Sector. And we decided to focus on 5 major focus areas. Big data, but also business analytics, which is close to that. Cybersecurity and artificial intelligence, including the link with the safety aspect. Both of them, we know the safety, cybersecurity, safety, and artificial intelligence, so will be a key topic for Shift Rail specifically. The new mobility services, and specifically the MaaS, that we discussed already, and the digitalization of freight logistics, the end-to-end logistics, in fact. So of course, it is not complete. We could have put also something on the simulation, the digital twin. We could have put something on the cloud, and the story about the cloud, about also the IoT, of course, which is key on that. But what has been decided is to focus on this one and to start looking at the way we could share that with other stakeholders for the purpose of progress. The idea is to collaborate, starting with this input with the other stakeholders. So maybe we can move to the next slide. So the idea, so starting with these 5 key topics, is to foster synergies. So we started to meet already 2 years ago with the CER, with the EIM, with YTP, and we invited these people to discuss with them and to exchange about the key topics of digitalization. So this is a way to find synergies between the sector, cooperate better between the sector. We try each time to look at the ways the European Commission is moving forward on this topic. And we know that cybersecurity is one of the key topics for the European Commission. And all that, of course, has to be used to optimize the sector, to optimize the products that we are developing, to reduce the cost of the product, to accelerate the deployment of the product. But at the end of the day, the key customer is clearly the end customer, the passenger, and we worked a lot on the way to improve the connection with the customer. And I come back to what we developed in Shift Rail, in IP4, for instance, where we develop all the services related to the customer, which allows them to develop a multimodal journey, which is not exactly the MaaS scheme, but it's part of that. And this is something which is essential if you want to integrate better the rail into the overall mobility ecosystem. So maybe next, the last slide on this topic. So after this quick presentation on the what and the how, what are the opportunities for the rail sector thanks to that? A key topic when we say that the rail should be the backbone of the mobility ecosystem is to find a way to better integrate the rail into this ecosystem. And digitalization will be key for that, not only for the end users by providing a set of services in the multimodal context, but also in a way we connect the digital aspect, the digital operation of each of the modes with the rail sector. And this is something which is still ongoing. If we want to integrate better the rail in this ecosystem, we need to find a way to exchange with the other sectors and to find a way to work together to find the boundaries, the interface, and to interface better the different modes of transport. This is a key topic. Knowing that all the other sectors are moving forward with digitalization, and maybe quicker than us. We know that the car industry is moving quickly on that, and it will be a key topic. The second one is, again, we know that digitalization is starting, at least for a part, of the way the different people are changing their behavior towards the digital aspect. The smartphone is key. They want to have everything in one click. And all this kind of development related to the end user is key. If we don't do that, us as the rail sector, the other will do that, and we capture the end users. We need absolutely to be part of this moving forward aspect of tracking the passengers, giving them the way to interact better with us. And the last point is related to the business models. The digitalization will change completely the way we develop business model. Instead of being excessively CapEx intensive, we need to go towards something more OpEx intensive to develop more services, and it will be a big change in the way the rail is managed. Today it's not always the case. It starts to change. We have more and more, we sell more and more services, but this is something which will increase a lot, and we need to be part of this path.
Okay, thank you, Yves, for this presentation. I will go very quickly on into drinks because it was a request made from Paolo to make a presentation on this, but I think during the afternoon there will be this presentation on this specific point by Stefano Logo, so maybe we can skip it and go to the just right after that. After this one, because there will be a presentation in the afternoon, and the next one. It's about ERAC. I think a lot of things been said about the role of ERAC, the two documents which have been used by ERAC, which were very useful. There was a meeting a few days ago, I think ERAC with the key preparation of ships related to, but I know that Italian rail stakeholders are very active in ERAC. So again, thank you all of you. The message I always pass is that don't consider that the shift to rail is granted for the next future. So use all the ways, all the lobbying channels that you know in Italy and in other parts of Europe, because the next months will be crucial, because there will be battle between all the potential partnerships. Don't forget that there is one which is may appear, one about automotive industry, but Mozart, so have to be careful because we know that there will be certainly no more budget than in the past. The discussion for the budget will be tough. There are some countries who don't want to increase the budget by all means, especially take Denmark, Sweden, Austria, Finland. They will not accept any increase of the budget. So the fight between all the different partnerships will be tough. We are confident, Carlo, but we need to continue the lobbying in the next months. I think it will be very essential. And I think we need also to show to the politicians what has been done by Shift 1 and what we intend to do in the future, and digitalization will be certainly one of the most important things. Thank you again for the support, and thank you again for CNLEC for having organized this.